Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, fans of Skytear. Welcome to the Last Chance Qualifier Championship round. I am the commander reporting in for duty for the final organized play match before the World Championships taking place here in December, and today's match will be featuring Brothers-Irvineperson versus Grayghost. We played the preliminary rounds of the LCQ yesterday, and we are here in the final match. Grayghost did win the coin toss, and upon seeing Tactician, immediately elected to go second. And in response, Irvine has decided that we're going to bring the Silent Ambassador. So, we love to see the Silent Ambassador. For those of you who watched the last game that Zarago and I did, you will know that I'm a huge fan of this outsider due to the complexity involved using her particular talents. So, let's jump right into it. As we can see here, Irvine's sporting out a red-green with Neliclin's Splash team, as well as Takali, forgoing a lot of the new cards that we've seen from the Untamed release. Whereas, on the other hand, Grayghost fielding primarily a Nupton team there. We see a fair mix, actually, between the red team, the red secondary and blue secondary runes. We have Ekrit, Habarat, Hiral, Shafathi, Satheru, and Akuti. So it will be interesting to see how this plays out here. We are on the 3-lane map. And for our first rounds here, we'll talk about the decks in just a moment as we zoom in here and see what we've got going on. So Irvineperson has deployed Doomies and Kohai over here in the left, Chilakali on his right. That's a tower, that's not a hero. Hiral over here, and Satheru, Shafathi, and Akuti. Satheru and Shafathi being held here in the center, and Akuti over on the left side for Grayghost. So, waiting to see who Irvine's final hero selection is. And then I will go ahead and do roll call. Of course, the decks are, as always, available for you down in the description of the video. Please feel free to click on those and see what our contestants decided to play and how they thought that the cards would bring them to victory. See what cards were assigned to which heroes as Akimo steps onto the field. So, we'll go ahead and run through this first. So, with Irvine, Doomies supplies 1 grasp of graphite, 2 quick shot, 1 stone barricade, 2 slide, 1 dodge, 3 topple. Kohai bringing the explosive intervention, 1 copy of that, 2 more grasp of graphites, 3 shield slams, 2 Kotlik's Oaths, very, very useful teleportation card. I hope to see some of that. And 1 unstoppable. Akimo, 3 psychic shields, 1 release the spirits, 3 Akimo's Oath. Of course, if we're playing Akimo, you better be playing Akimo's Oath. It is a ridiculously good card. We saw Game Slayer use that to exceptional effect. And 2 unstoppables. Finally, the last hero, Chilakali, brings 1 Dreams of Talit, 2 stone barricades, another copy of Slide, 2 unburial rites, 1 copy of Chasm, and 2 copies of the Endless Disciple. Interestingly enough, she's only going to be able to play the Endless Disciple card, as Neliclin is not in this particular match. So we'll have to see how that evolves. Also, a bunch of -1s does make using Doomie's rocket ability substantially less attractive. Also potentially could interfere with a bit of Chilakali's healing that we can see coming through from the removal of the pillar and replacement, of course. Generally speaking, we do look to Chilakali to interfere with minion killing using the Protective Rights ability, but it is, of course, also necessary to keep her healed up as the game goes on and you absorb more damage. Now, on the other hand, Grayghost is bringing in, as we said, Akuti, Satheru, Shafathi, Hiral. So, Akuti is bringing in 2 copies of Unfamiliar Terrain, 2 copies of Akuti's Oath. I'm not so sold on that card. We'll see how that card plays out. 2 copies of Presence, that's kind of mandatory. 1 Chasm, 1 Wind Blast, and 1 Ice Wall. Satheru bringing 2 quick shots, 2 time warps, a deserved retribution. All right, we love to see it. Love to see it. Probably my favorite card out of the Untamed release is Deserved Retribution. Let's see how that one plays out. 2 copies of Nightmare Incarnate, 2 copies of Soul Scream, Shafathi, 2 Shatter Minds, 2 Acrobatics, 1 Release the Spirit, 2 Time Glitches, another Deserved Retribution, and Soul Scream. Finally, Haral, as we see the first round going through here, 3 Psychic Shields, 1 Acrobatics, 2 Charms, a Time Glitch, a Twister of Souls, and an Ice Wall. So, we'll have to see how this kind of plays out here. As we see the opening move there, Irvine moving over into the yellow lane, as we'll call it, the right lane here for our perspective. Lane number, I think that's number 1. Pretty sure that I oriented this correctly. I'll get the numbers in just a second. But in the right lane, the yellow lane, taking out the minion there with the move, the attack. I presume that the worship will come down here in order to preserve that minion should Haral choose to advance into the yellow territory as well. Remember that, of course, with the Tactician, there are 4 area control tokens up for grab each round, 1 in each of the 3 lanes, the blue, the red, the yellow, left, right, left, center, right, and of course the dome as well. And given the outsider here, I expect that there should be some contest for the dome. The outsider is extraordinarily useful, particularly in this case. Speaking of the other abilities, we also have the Tamer, defeat 2 enemy heroes using an outsider. Very easy to do. The outsider does do a lot of damage, especially to a softened up hero here. And then, of course, Obstinacy, destroy the same hero twice, but not opting to actually go for the worship play. Instead, Tilakali is going to lead from the deck. And that's why. The stone barricade. So this makes perfect sense. Place a pillar in a target adjacent hex. This is now going to allow Tilakali to absorb. So that's going to be actually not absorb in that case. Haral does quite a bit of damage there, as we can see. A 3 plus another 2 would be 5. And Irvine says, you know, I'm not ready to send Tilakali down to 11 just yet. A little bit early in the match, and of course, with 2 mages on the field, Shafathi, Satheru, if we eat too much damage too soon, that opens up Tilakali to a quick attack from the Shatter Mines, potentially from a Nightmares Incarnate come round 2, and then you have a dead hero, momentum shift in favor of your opponent, and very quickly the game can go out of control if you have not established good board positioning. So I agree with that. Let the minion die. You've got the lead token there, but Haral does lead from the hand versus Tilakali's lead from the deck. So in that situation, we know that Irvine technically has the advantage as he knows what is there, but it could be the case that Irvine has hit a 3 and therefore we end up in a wash. Meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and deploy Dummies over on the left side here for the second round. We're going to drop down a worship. No one's in range to mark, unfortunately, but Dummies also doesn't have any minions on them right now, and so therefore unable to fire the rocket away. So we are going to kill the minion, and we're going to absorb the minion, as is the case. We've got the pillar there. Dummies is now worth 2. Could go for the lead action here. Akuti's Divine Retribution here would actually be very useful. You can attack the pillar, then flip on the minion. That will disable Dumi's ability. And would force Kohai to have to burn a worship as well in order to reestablish the pillar. Otherwise, Dumis is going to kind of have that minion sit. Where in the past, that wouldn't necessarily be a bad play sometimes. You could just have Dumis collect and then go for a super push in the second or even the third round. But since we modified the Dumis ability to only subtract 1 per round, it kind of leads to waste. As I mentioned, there are a number of -1s in Irvine's deck, and so as a result, you want to be a little bit more cautious using those 1+ers. Because when you flip the -1, you essentially have wasted your action and any additional resources. So thinking now carefully if he wants to go for a worship action with the Dumis. I don't see what else you do unless you want to skirmish into the dome. Does reestablish the pillar, however, with the Dream of Talit. So, interestingly enough, very useful there. Going to place a second pillar using that. as Grayghost kind of contemplates about this. Yep, Grayghost is going for the thinking here. Going to react using a Cootie. She's 4 away from the pillar. What is she trying to do? Or we've just... Looks like we've just ended the turn with a lead. Okay, we missed that bit there. Okay, fair enough. All right, so Akuti is going for the movement action. This makes perfect sense. I expect the move, attack the pillar, use the... first the worship. Obviously, we need the illusion down in order to use Akuti's Divine Retribution play. Puts her into the cover hex. Again, those hexes that have kind of the shadowy perimeter are considered the cover hexes. It is a little bit more difficult to see on this map, but, you know, it is what it is. All right, so Akuti comes here. I assume the next action is the worship, and then you can double kill the pillar and then the minion, or we just kill the minion and we lead. Going for the worship. Okay, so this makes sense as well. This also gives Akuti armor, as well as Cytheru if he opts to come close. So we attack the pillar there. That is correct because the Retribution specifically goes against minions. So we kill the pillar with the attack action. We flip that over. There's the +0. Good, does 1 damage. Minions are gone. Now, the difference here is, though, of course, that does mean no lead action. We've moved, we've worshipped, we've attacked, and so currently it is a lead result there in lane number 2 for Doomies. And very important, with no minions, that puts the tower at risk. On the 3-lane map, you'll notice that lane 3 on the left side, lane 2 on the right side, both start within 3 of the respective tower. This means that tower damage can occur on turn 1 without needing to use a trample card or other methods in order to move things along. Kohai, going into play. Into the dome, going for a worship action. This makes sense. We need to reestablish the pillar. Of course, pillar needs to be within 3. I don't know about that. That seems like a very aggressive pillar. Now, obviously, this does allow Tilakali to protect those minions, but at the same time, it also allows Cytheru to pick that pillar off, negating Doomie's ability, and then able to allow Cytheru also to provide assistance to lane number 3. If Cytheru moves to the hex that is right above and to the right of Akuti, you can attack the pillar and then lead in lane 3 because, of course, there is no white line between the lanes. Very important. So line of sight is, in fact, not blocked. Right. So this is the play right here. Very good. Irvine going for the... Oh, no! We're going for the aggression on Doomies. All right, I'm down for this because this is aggression, and we love to see it. +2, very nice. That's going to be 5 piercing, putting Doomies to 11. So, with the double mage play, you also want to opt to kill people. So, it could be the case here that we move, attack, and then... I assume we're going to lead with Cytheru. There's the lead action. Good. That should neutralize whatever Doomies can offer there. And now we see what the end result will be at the end of the round. As Akimo moves up, attacks. There's one of the -1s. Okay, probably the Akimo's Oath. I'm not going to be able to check right now, but we'll see in a little while if we go down to the graveyard. Minion is out, but now what does Akimo do? Leads from the deck. Okay, very nice. So in this case here, actually, Shafathi does have an interesting choice. Shafathi can move up, deal massive damage to Akimo, and then go in the dome, or Akimo can just, or excuse me, Shafathi can just play a time glitch and go fast. So time glitch applies fast to the caster, and then you get to draw a card as well. So Shafathi is going to go zoom, zoom, zoom. Now the question is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can't quite get to Doomies with just the move action. But we can get in range to then skirmish and stab him at the cost of the dome. Okay, so instead we're going to opt for this play. I agree with this. Attack the pillar here. This is what I mentioned. Disable Doomies' bonus point. Force them to carry that minion to the next round. Now the question is, do we lead here? Yes. Okay, so in this case, Grayghost is going to cede control of the dome. We'll see how that plays out here at the end. Now, with this being the case, based on what Akimo rolls here, and what Shafathi rolls from the deck, this could be a substantial swing in terms of power from the tactician. So what do we have here? So Akimo has a 0. Oh, no, I saw a 0. I didn't see who that was on. I think it was Shafathi. Oh, no. 3 damage on the tower, 1. All right, that hurts. That hurts. Lane number 2. So lane number 2 over here. This should probably be Heral, I assume. Let's see. Heral leads with a 3. Turkali with a 1. All right, very good. So that one's going to go in Grayghost's favor. 2 damage to the tower. So again, nice chip. The lane 1 tower only has 2 HP left for Grayghost. The lane 2 tower has 3 left for Irvine. So no tower destruction immediately, but nevertheless, tower does take a lot of damage. Remember, the only point of damage really that matters is the very last one, so health is a resource. Currently, Tactician tied 1-1 here. Let's take a look then and resolve lane number 3. Doomie's led with a 3, so Satheru also needs to have a 3. Good, that means 1 point control win for Grayghost there. No tower damage, as that control token started within 3 of Grayghost's tower, but does get him another tactician point. So that's 2-1 for Grayghost right now. But Irvine going to tie that up with the all-important outsider. So looking at the outsider here, there's a lot of stuff we can do, and I see one of my favorite plays right now. Swap Shafathi into range, Stone Storm, and then you can triple slow as well as deal some damage with the outsider. Let's see if that's the play. Drop the outsider right on the perimeter. As we know, the Silent Ambassador must spawn. Oh, that's Lord of the Ancestors, not the Silent Ambassador. I've been doing this entire game wrong. Okay, yikes. I should probably watch what card we're playing. So Lord of the Ancestors actually plays entirely different than the Silent Ambassador. Lord of the Ancestors must start adjacent to a friendly minion, as you can see there. And this card is focused all about minion control. So invoke the Ancestors, spawn a friendly minion, advance and conquer, move the target hex 1 control. So this is going to allow Irvine to put that control token back within damage range. We're going to kill that minion. We're going to, I assume, advance, and then I also assume we're going to spawn the friendly minion or potentially overwhelm somehow. Outsider skill number 1, we're going to spawn a minion. This makes perfect sense. You want to get as much control as possible, particularly when you have Doomies. And let's see what his last option is here as well. I assume it's going to be advance the control token. His hand is hovering near it. Yes. Okay. So, no. Now we've got to move the minions. TTS layering stack. Okay, there we go. So that was Lord of the Ancestors. Very nice. Not nearly as exciting as the Silent Ambassador. I messed that one up. My apologies. Alas, we can't get a bloodthirsty game. So Tamer, probably off the table here. To be fair, I have won games with the Tamer. Gameslayer and I in the 2v2 leagues have won with the Tamer. Not the easiest thing in the world to do, so not surprised that the players are kind of ignoring that condition whenever you've got Tactician, whenever you've got Obstinacy. Both of those are substantially easier to fulfill, in my opinion, than Tamer with the Lord of the Ancestors. With that being said, let's take a look at the board state. So, as a result, what we have here, lane number 1, Irvineperson close to breaking down the tower, exposing the Nexus. Very possible that that could happen this round. Akimo well positioned to attack Shafathi, and Shafathi Akimo. In lane number 2, over on our right, Same wise there. Grayghost well positioned to potentially break down Irvine's tower there. Telekali is in position in order to protect both of her minions, but as we saw last time, Haral did get a +3, or excuse me, a +2 in addition to his base 3, which is a 5. What we could see from Haral there is potentially the Chakram attack to hit both Telekali and the Pillar. Chakram does not allow for minion hits. The Chakram, of course, is the alternative attack action when Haral is shapeshifted. Oh, Kohai is going to drop down a stone barricade. Are we looking for a Kotlik's Oath play? Yes, we're popping the flux. Here comes Kotlik's Oath. All right, this card is awesome. So, Kotlik's Oath. Remove a pillar from the battlefield. That's why we played that, so we're going to remove that one. Place the caster adjacent to the removed pillar. If you do, the caster may take an attack action targeting an adjacent enemy. So, in this case, we're going to gun down Cytheru like the degenerate that he is. Now, Cytheru is not marked. You must take the attack action immediately, so this is, quote-unquote, unfortunately, only a +4 flip. Of course, there could be a redirect play. No, there can't. He doesn't have redirect. Does he? No, there is no redirect here to be had. So, this is going to be +1 armor for Cytheru due to the fact that Akuti's illusion is out, but nevertheless, still going to deal quite a bit of damage. We see a +1, so that's 5. 4 damage brings Cytheru down to 10. So Cytheru to 10 HP. Now, in this case here, you could go for a mark, potentially. Who just pinged? Somebody just pinged. Going for a skirmish action. Okay. And interesting that you didn't go for the worship. +3. All right, that's going to hurt, though. 6 more damage puts him down to 3 HP? 3 HP? 3 HP. There's an illusion. He's not marked. Oh, he is marked. How did he? Oh, it must have gone the worship then. Oh, oh, I see what happens. Was it the rocket? Might have been the rocket. I think it was the rocket. Let's see. Does Doomy still have a minion? No. Okay, so they did use the rocket. That was the flip there. That wasn't a skirmish action. That was the rocket. As a result, so Cytheru is down to 2 HP there. Very nice play. Does set up for a very easy kill. Kohai does not need line of sight. We can just simply harpoon the Cytheru. All we need is a +1 to hit, and we can then kill the Cytheru and start that snowball ball rolling in terms of hero advantage. So, have to see if that's the play that Irvine's going for. If so, I approve. Longtime watchers know, anytime that there's bloodbath involved, I'm always happy. We love to see it. None of this dancing around for 40 minutes and then we all throw a bunch of cards and we do some control shenanigans. No, we want violence. Violence is the way. All right, Grayghost going for the worship action now. It's his turn. Going to activate Cytheru, looking potentially for a countermeasure before Cytheru goes boom. So, with the illusion out, that's going to amplify the damage done. Looks like we're going to try and smite Doomies before Cytheru goes down. This could easily be done here. Going to attack the Doomies. Again, this will be piercing damage, so how much piercing damage remains to be seen. Oh, but the dodge comes out! I love it! Place the caster within Hex within 2. So Doomies is going to kind of ninja their way out of this one. And jump, I presume, over to the Hex below the... Oh, no! Oh, yes! Deserved Retribution deals. So first we're going to mana burn Doomies. Then we deal X lifesteal damage. So this is going to do 4 damage +1 because of Cytheru. And then Cytheru heals 5. So Cytheru no longer in danger of dying. That was a brilliant play from their deserved retribution. Absolutely love to see it. Very well executed. Now, the attack does fizzle as a result of this, but I don't think that Grayghost is too unhappy about that play at all. Still gets a massive chunk of damage on the Doomies. Setting up Shafathi can very easily move, skirmish, attack, kill, and then be in range to influence the control token. Or potentially you can just play another fast card and then go up and stab the Doomies, potentially killing them there. Let's see what happens here. And the final one, we're going to skirmish, +1, piercing damage. So light damage onto a chemo, takes a chemo down to 17. Not really in any danger just yet, but getting Cytheru far, far away from any potential Kohai plays without deep commitment from Kohai into Grayghost's side of the board. Very well played by Cytheru. Nice turn of events there. Going to park himself right on top of the illusion there. And with that, should be passing it back to Irvine for the next play. Irvine is going to go with, I assume, Doomies or Kohai? Kohai. This makes sense. Kohai, you can pull Shafathi and slow him, which would reduce any haste plays. Or you can just get in the way. Trying to think what the right play is. Moving Kohai there does allow you to attack. Worship action makes sense. Now, Doomies does not have any more rockets in storage, so therefore, as a result, not going to be able to fire on whomever gets the mark here, which is a tragedy, but Akuti, Cytheru is going to get reapplied with the mark there. Makes perfect sense as a result. Let's see if we go for an attack action now to finish this off, or a lead action, I assume, would be the results. Potentially an attack. Yep, okay, we're going for the attack. 2+ on the attack here. Again, still has 1 armor because of the Akuti illusion. Any response from Akuti? Can't imagine what she would do here. Oh, we're going for the grapple pool. And Shafathi plays acrobatics. Okay, so. Oh. Wait. Oh, we already, okay, we ended the turn. We're on Shafathi. Okay, Shafathi plays acrobatics, gains the fast there. Okay, that's what I'm missing here. The people not using your action buttons. All right, so Shafathi plays acrobatics. Let's go ahead and zoom up and see what that card does real fast for you. Fast, move them 2 hexes. Otherwise, apply fast to the caster. So Shafathi did not have fast, so he got fast, moved over there. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that's about, but let's not deal with that. Okay. Excuse me a minute. Okay. We love spam. And not the canned kind. So. Akuti, Doomies does end up falling there. Going to actually be very challenging now, I think, for Irvine to maintain control after that play. So, going to have to see what's coming up next here. He does have a potential vulnerability. If he can get Cytheru down, then there is a chance that he's able to regain some measure of control. Otherwise, this is going to be a little bit concerning. Skytear is a game where, excuse me, Skytear is a game where momentum goes very, very quickly. If you are able to start the snowball early, then you are able to maintain that lead fairly well. And it does make it difficult for the other side to come back relatively quickly. So first blood has been drawn. Let's see how Irvine does to respond against that. Particularly on this lane with so many objectives and the tactician already brewing, but let's see what we have here. All right, so Takali is going to go. Takali, ooh, the +3 on the minion. We hate to see it. Hate wasting the +3s on the minions, but it is what it is. As to Takali, not even sure what we do here. Lead? Get another pillar down? Sounds about the best you can do. Okay. I assume the last action here has to be a worship action. Leads from hand. Yep, that makes sense. Turning the control over then. So now Akuti is going to go. All right, very good. So Akuti is going to activate here. Akuti actually ooh, okay, so we're going to try this out here. Akuti's Oath. Deal X +1 piercing damage, where X is the number of face-up power cards on the caster. So that's going to be 2 damage there. Going to just do a quick smite, boom, boom. I assume we move the Akuti illusion over and we kill off 2 minions. Actually, no, you don't even need to move the illusion. Yeah, there's no point in wasting that action. Oh, another +3, though. You hate to see the waste, but it is what it is there. And dead minions. I assume, let's see. We can't really, you could skirmish a chemo, I guess, for some repositioning. We could also, obviously we are going to want to probably lead here. Cythero did not lead. So we most likely want to lead there with Akuti in order to stabilize the lane. There's the lead action. Is it from the hand? It is from the hand, very nice. And skirmish action against the Kohai, interesting. Not against the Akimo, where you would have a higher likelihood of dealing damage. -1, okay, doesn't matter either way. But we're going to go ahead and tuck Akuti in there. Makes sense. As Irvine gets to sit there and watch, as Grayghost gets to double dip now, because it's now Hiral's turn. So, Horseman charges in, goes for the move action. Oh! Going into the center lane, I agree. You can kind of yield the right lane a little bit in terms of damage control. Kill off these minions here. Akimo did not lead. Oh, no, he led from deck, excuse me. Akimo led from deck. He did not lead from hand. And so, as a result, a lead... Okay, or we just do this. Presence. Contribute 1 bonus value to the controlled score this turn and predict 2. So... Grayghost now gets to take a peek. Obviously, Grayghost running a little bit low on resources there. 3 cards in his hand, same as Irvine. Going to take a look there, see if he's got anything useful. If he's got a 3, perhaps we lead from the deck. There's the lead from the deck. And, of course, Haral counts for a +1 now. And so, as a result, if that is a 3, then, in that case, Grayghost automatically wins the lane there. No one getting the dome this time. Interestingly enough, we've decided not to play for the dome. Kind of makes sense, in my opinion. All right, let's see what we got here. Akimo leads with another 0. Ugh. We saw that last round from somebody else. I forget who it was. I think it was Shafathi. Or maybe it was Akimo again. I can't remember. But in either case there, Akimo leading with a 0 means that that's a score of 2 to 5. Both minions are going to die there. Of course, the minion... I'm sorry, not 2 to 5. I can't do math. Heral is worth 5, plus 2 more makes 7. So, now, of course, because the minions... the control token was not within 3, only the minions end up dying there, but that does push the control token all the way against Irvine's tower as well. Does give a third tactician point to Grayghost there, so the score is 3 to 2. But Irvine is going to kind of match that, so to speak, there with an overwhelming lead in lane number 2, tying that up 3-3. Kicks the control token far away from his damaged tower. So no tower breaches coming in round 3 here from either lane 1 or lane 2. Tying Tactician 3-3. And over here, Akuti leads with a 3. And Kohai leads with a 3. Let's see, how many minions do we have here? Okay, well, that explains that. Grayghost wins by 1, which frankly is all that we're interested in here. Winning by 1 means that you have just enough in order to get the tokens. So it is now 4 to 3 in lead Tactician. And remember, the way that Tactician works is as soon as someone reaches 6, game over. So does not look like we're going to have Obstinacy. Definitely not going to have Tamer here unless something really jank happens. So this looks like a Tactician battle. So Grayghost feels pretty good. All he has to do is win 2 out of the 4. He can completely sack the other ones to Irvine and gain control, winning this game. Also very important, by winning those control zones, he is also going to refill his hand, which does mean that he's going to have a lot more options coming in to the third round. Wait, why is the outsider active? Oh, Shafathi's in the dome! I didn't see that! Oh, crap. Oh, my God. I'm missing everything today. I apologize. Okay, Shafathi's in the dome, which means that Grayghost basically just has to win 1 lane now. 1 control zone. So, we're going to go ahead, attack. We're going to spawn the outsider. And we're going to... we're going to attack. We're going to spawn the minion. And overwhelm, I guess? Just grab one of the minions and... yeah. Okay, we're going for the... see... yeah, I guess you've got all your heroes over there. That makes sense. Yeah, going second, Grayghost is in an excellent position now. All he has to do is win 1. It's not looking good for Irvine. So Irvine has to win 3 before Grayghost wins 1. So basically, Irvine has to win all 3 lanes and then not have the dome taken. And given that Doomies is dead, I don't see how he does that. Without knocking out Cytheru, I don't know how Grayghost loses. So I assume that that's going to be Irvine's play here. We have to assassinate Cytheru. Oh, no, Doomies comes back. That's right, Doomies didn't activate. So Doomies does come back here. I still think this is incredibly rough for Irvine here. Irvine does need to gain control or at least force ties in every single lane, preferably winning them because Grayghost just has to win. Irvine has to not lose. All right, here we go. Akimo is going to activate. And we're going for the Unstoppable. All right, so this means business. Unstoppable, apply Frenzy and Fast to the caster. So Akimo goes speedy, speedy. Akimo does tons and tons of damage. +2. Oh, okay, the skirmish. Okay, I was going to say, there should be one more if it was a skirmish. Okay. So that brings you down to 4. This attack is pretty much an auto kill. Cytheru is marked. This is a 7++ until you do that. If the attack lands, it's an auto kill. However, with Time Warp, we're going to move the caster 1 hex, which means this attack is going to fizzle. Unless there is a response, but there is not. Sinkhole has been banned, tragically, and so therefore the green team could not stop Cytheru from running away like the coward that he is. Very nice play again by Grayghost there, dodging out on the assassination attempt, keeping Cytheru very healthy. And slowly marching his way towards the final victory condition. Suddenly pinging Shafathi? Someone's attacking. I assume this has to be a Kuti? What's happening here? Okay, we're moving Shafathi into... Oh my god, we're actually going for obstinacy. Okay, fair enough. So, Shafathi is going to move over... Oh, the +3! Ah, okay, you know what? All of a sudden, Cytheru still has 1 mana left, so like... okay, or we just do this. Shattermine coming down. Shattermine is very simple, 3 damage cards. So, Doomies down to 7... Oh no, and the deserved retribution! Ooh, we're gonna go slide. Move target enemy hero. That is not what you want to do. Oh no, they're in cover hexes. That is exactly what you want to do. I keep forgetting that those are indeed cover hexes. Okay, so, very nice. Saved the potential death blow there. That could have been brutal, as Doomies did not have any mana on them initially, but would have had to flip something. Could have potentially set up for a Cytheru kill. Now Cytheru, let's see. Cytheru could get there with a fast and a skirmish. Could get adjacency. Akuti could also move over to provide line of sight and allow Shafathi, or Cytheru then, to do some more shenanigans on his turn. Potentially with an attack and a Shattermind. We'll see what happens there. But for now, is going to go with the lead from the deck. So that slide does force him within range. Oh, no, Doomies. No, Doomies. Doomies, what are you guys doing? Guys, you're walking right into Cytheru. I'm not sure about this. Going for the mark play there, so Shafathi is marked. Going to put down the pillar. Ah, that's true. The pillar there would also allow Terrify to go off, which is Kohai's talent ability. Or is it his Karuma ability? I actually have to take a look at this. I assume it's his it's his talent ability because it requires the pillar. Oh no. The marking is the Terrify. The pool is the pillar. Okay, so yeah, Kohai's terror ability does mean that you flip the control token. Actually, not the control token. When you're resolving the control token, you flip the mana value with the lead value. So very potentially useful whenever you have a deck that is high mana, low modifier. Obviously, it has no effect against an ultimate, as that's a 3 either way, but could be very useful. Also, doesn't have a good effect if you do it against something like Psychic Shield, where you go from 0 to a +3. So there is some risk involved in using Terrify. The Wild's Ride, Heral's Ultimate. So I think it's the first time we've seen this card play. Move Heral within the AoE. As you can see there, it is a 4-hex line. Deal 4 damage to all adjacent enemies, and then push them 2 hexes. So I assume we're going to charge Heral over by Shafathi, and then we're going to smash into Doomies and Kohai, because that's going to deal 3 damage. I assume that that's what the play is there, unless we drop a stone barricade down from Kohai and interrupt that. That would seem to be the play. Let's see how this resolves. No resolution there. All right, so we go there. So Kohai does get smacked over by 2 into the dome. That's totally fine. Doomies does take 3 damage. Should put them down to 4. Which means this is now open for a Cytheru kill. Even +2. That's game. Obstinacy. GG's, gentlemen. That was well done. We thought we were going for the tactician play, and instead, we end up with the obstinacy play. We love to see it. Once again, violence rules the day. Let's go ahead, jump in, and have a chat with our players.
Oh, how's it going, RG?
It's going great. We had violence. I love it.
Yes, we did.
GG's. That was fun to watch.
This map's become one of my favorite ones, RG. I like it.
The movement play there to keep denying the assassination against Cytheru was very nice to watch, and I'm sure very frustrating to play against.
Yes. Well, round 2, Cytheru was at exactly 2 life remaining.
Yep.
So if he didn't have the bonus armor from Akuti,
Right.
he was dead.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then, surprise, we have deserved retribution.
Yes, I saw that. Went, yeah, that's not fun.
I think it's Dante's one of his least favorite cards to play against.
It's it's honestly, no, I'm not saying this just to be annoying, but it is probably my favorite card from the Untamed set. It's just so good.
Oh, it's my favorite. I love the card.
Yeah.
Well,
it's so good.
I think it's on par with the Chemo's Oath of what it does for its value, like its flip value. So,
Okay.
Red Yellow did need something like that. I'll give it that to them.
We sadly needed a little bit of help after the Unforgotten people.
Yes.
I think it plays best after someone plays a new Discovery in the Deeps card and they mana burn themselves a bunch.
Right, that would be
That's
big.
that's the moment for it.
Oh, that would be so good. Let's hope we can see that during the World Finals. Someone's like, hey, I'm going to go fishing. Hey, I'm going to smite you for 10 damage.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, no,
Oh,
it's good to see yellow make a comeback here.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Because after the Unforgotten deck, it was very much, well, why would we play yellow whenever you've got red-green that has Akima's Oath and blue-green that has a bunch of other toys? Why play yellow again?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, just to throw people off base. That's really what it's for.
Sure, absolutely.
But no, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoy Brawl with double mages.
Nice.
It's I didn't get to worship with him this round, but when he does, and Shapathi and Steru also get double flips, just go and make their little gank squad and melt someone.
So I noticed that your team Grayghost is split between red runes, blue runes for your teams. Did you have any considerations for Kepiax, or do you just not think she's good, or did you or was it just a case of it would be nice, but I want these people more?
Yeah, I was thinking about Kefiax. I think my biggest consideration was Kefiax is a melee character.
And you already have the other ones with Shafathi and Abrat.
And I was really looking for an extra character to add to my squad who could just murder people, essentially.
Fair
And
enough.
for all, like, you get the extra flip.
Yep.
Like, Kefiax's 1 piercing damage is really lethal if you set up
Right. It's a lot of little
illusion in the right
chips.
spot.
Yeah, a lot of little chips.
Yeah, and it really gets work done over time, because I haven't done it, but I've been the victim of it. My brother here, he played with it, and I just got zapped to death on it for his game. Like, oh my gosh.
It's only 1 damage. Wait, stop that! Stop that!
Yeah, all of a sudden you're playing a bunch of 1 mana and 0 mana cards, and I've been zapped for like 5 or 6 damage from 1 ability in a round.
This isn't supposed to hurt this much.
Yeah.
Yep, I think Kepiax is real. I like Kepiax a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what her place is on 3 lane.
Mm.
On 2 lane, I think that Kepiax is an amazing character for killing.
For killing, okay, yeah. I was just about to ask you in what capacity, but that answers it. Yeah, I am a fan. I think she's good. She's a warrior, obviously. So if you play her with a Cootie, you've got a fairly beefy front line,
Yeah.
which is nice. Yellow's durability has always been one of the things that's been a little bit challenging for them. So
If they're going aggressive, it's usually a race to the grave.
glass cannon
That's
versus
what's been
glass
for
cannon,
Yellow.
baby.
Yep.
Yep. I know
No.
last tournament I played Kepiax with Brilvar and a Cootie to give Kepiax
Ooh.
3 armor.
Ooh, okay.
And then I did the same thing with Harald because same concept.
Right.
And then you have Golbjorn's Betrayal.
Right.
I got to pull it off once where I got 7++ on 2 characters.
That's excellent.
Yeah, and I think Harald plays really well in the 2 lane, especially if it's like a dome brawl game. 'Cause
Right.
you can't work around those magic chakrams if you're putting your guys in the dome very well.
Right. We almost saw that whenever Eric was playing against Game Slayer. They had that giant dome brawl. That's what I saw. It's like you could set up there. Harald moves to like 1 hex. He was going to be able to chakram 3 people or whatever. Didn't end up opting to go for it, but like the positioning was definitely there for that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to play around. That AoE works out really nice.
Yeah. Imagine if Astrida's sitting around too, like AoE disarm.
Yeah.
We hate it.
It doesn't matter if you're aggressive or control at that point. Disarm just hurts.
Yeah. Especially with the rules change, which I realize the rules change that happened like a year ago now, but nevertheless, with the -2 bit, because the -2 just stings on so many specialists that have, if you deal damage, then apply this effect. So if you have that -2, there's a chance that you don't do any damage and therefore don't apply your effects.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. No, this was it was an interesting game with Tactician. I saw Tactician come out, and Tactician is maybe the hardest condition on this map.
Oh yeah, because there's
It-
four spots to fight over.
I should say hardest for first player. The second player gets to play in response to first player on this map a lot of the time. With 4 lanes,
Right.
second player can usually identify at least 2 that they can probably take in a round.
Yep.
Yeah,
Maybe.
first, yeah, it was very interesting to watch first because, Irvine charged straight down the middle, started smashing your lane 1 tower, and then you're like, all right, well, that's fine. I'll just smash your lane 2 tower, and now we're basically tied up there.
Yeah. I think the first game we had in the tournament, instead of just doing some damage to our towers, both our side towers got destroyed on the first round.
Nice.
It was,
And Tikali got murdered.
Oof.
yeah, Takali got murdered round 1 that game.
Well, I did see.
Yeah.
I saw you were setting up for the Takali pillar in round number 1, and then Harald flips the 5, and it's like, well, on second thought, maybe we just let the minion die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose I was holding the fast card if he did decide, oh, I'll take that damage. I'm like, okay, Shafathi.
Well,
You know what to do, bud.
Although you hard committed to kill the Doomies, man. Like, you went straight for them with blood in your eyes. I approve of that. That
I don't like
was
Doomies
some
on
like
this map.
laser target focus, and I'm like, oh my lord, he is out on a warpath.
Umis is always causing problems for me on this map.
It's true.
Always causing problems. Going over
Dead
on-
Doomies can't lead.
It's very
Yeah,
true.
dead Doomies can't lead or get his extra minion. Just always walking up the lane, always snagging a minion and leading to 3, and I have to have a hero on the lane just to make sure my tower doesn't blow up on round 1.
Right, yeah.
I don't even get to
because-
win the lane most of the time. I got lucky this time with the pillar stuff, but I just have to consign myself to committing a hero to a losing lane just
Right.
so I get to have minions next round.
Right.
Umis is lethal, especially if you're first player. Yeah. Not first player, second player. Second player Umis, lethal.
They're good. I expect we will see them again at the World Championships.
Yeah, I would expect to see Doomies at the World Championships.
Which, speaking of, congrats, Grayghost, with this win. You are officially the LCQ champion, and so now I guess you kind of have the surprise final boss with the Brazilian runner-up. You two guys will then face off for the final slot in the World Championship Showdown, which is a double elimination tournament coming up in just a few weeks. So, congratulations on your win here.
All right. Thank you.
Any final thoughts from either of you gentlemen before we go ahead and wrap up?
I do not.
Yeah. I got nothing.
All right, well then, on behalf of Grayghost and Irvine, thank you very much for joining us today, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the match, and we'll see you at the World Championships. Have a good day.